or in front of that overlay. So for instance, I could take the webcam and right click on it, and I could go to order, move to bottom, and all of a sudden you can't see it anymore because now the webcam is behind. If I right click on it again and I go to top, now it's in front. So that's one particular scene. Let's just really quickly set up a second scene. I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus button, call this full screen. Let's go ahead and add a source. I'm going to add a video capture device. I'm going to add the examp. I'm going to make that bigger. And then if I wanted to make a critique, move that up here. My second scene. So while I'm recording a live stream, I could turn it on like this, introduce myself, be full screen, and then when I want to show more of the scene I'm painting on art stream, and I switch to that scene, and it does this nice fade between them. So I could be drawing, doing my thing, and then if I want to talk again, talking to the camera and have my head be bigger, I click back on full screen, and there I am, full screen. Another idea for scene is you could have a title screen that fades away as your live stream starts. So this is a really cool feature. And again, I just want to mention that you can go up here to scene collection, and you can create collections of scenes. So for instance, I could call this custom, and then I could add a bunch of scenes to this, and then I can have collections of scenes. So maybe I have different kinds of live stream formats, different shows, and I want them to have their own collections of scenes. This is a good way to keep those organized. So I'm going to go back to Untitled. That was the one that I set up here. And now that we have our scene set up, we'll go ahead and start setting up the recording process. So now we're ready to start setting up the recording. I'm going to go ahead and set the master levels for audio, and that's down here in the middle of the bottom of the screen. You can see I have a slider for my mic input. That little green meter is jumping around. You can see it moves more if I talk loudly, and it doesn't move very much if I talk quietly. Underneath that is the desktop audio, and that's your system sound. So that would be sound effects, music, your guests while they're speaking if you have them on Skype or Google Hangouts or something. So you may need to adjust their levels with the desktop audio. In my live streams, I don't use any desktop audio, so I usually just have it muted. That way I make sure that there aren't any unexpected sounds that happen during the live stream. My webcam has a microphone, so I want to make sure that I don't pick up two microphones at the same time, otherwise I'm going to get kind of an echo effect. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the webcam microphone as well. And now the only sound that's going to be captured during my live stream is my microphone. That's the way I want it. Now you can click a little gear next to each of these filters. Click on plus to add a filter. And you can select noise gate if you want to try to trim off background noise. You can also go to edit and then advanced audio. And here you can boost the level of the audio as well. So I could go to the mic auxiliary, and if I wanted to boost this by a small amount, I could do that. Just turn it up. And then you can see in my little level meter there, as I'm turning it up and speaking, it's getting louder and louder each time. So I want to turn this up a bit more, and so now my audio is at a much higher level. Let's turn it up to 1000 and see what happens. And now this screen is going all the way to the edge, and that's way too loud. That means my audio is getting clipped off. If I set it down to 500, it's still getting clipped. Maybe I'll set it down to 300. Now it's not getting clipped. But you have to keep in mind too, sometimes when you're talking you might have an exclamation or something that might be louder than how you usually talk. So I'm probably going to keep this maybe around 200 just to be safe. That way it's a little bit louder, but we'll go ahead and close out of this. I'm going to decide which scene I'm going to start with. I think I'll start with the art stream scene. We can see a live preview of what our stream will look like now, but let's go ahead and do a test recording so that we can watch the test recording and make sure that it's coming out the way that we want it to. To do that, we can go down here to bottom right and we can choose start recording, and whatever you say or do during the recording process is going to get recorded. So what I'm doing right now is getting recorded. We'll click on stop recording. Whatever you say or do during the recording process is